All right, friends, here they are. These are the Star Hunters as they exist today, right now. And the new rules have dropped. Oh, wait, I've forgotten somebody. These are the Star Hunters as they exist today. Now, the new rules have come out, and I've gotten to read them all, and there are changes to make. I am not poo-pooing 10th edition. I'm kind of looking forward to 10th edition. There's a lot of things I like about it. When they talk about streamlining, I am into that. But some of the things they're doing, I like a lot. Some of the things they're doing, I don't like so much. But, you can't get everything you want. I'm into the reduction of stratagems. I hated all the stratagems because, like, with the Space Marines, half the stratagems weren't for me. They were just for Primaris, and they were just taking up space in my book. But there are things I don't like I don't get to choose my own tactics anymore. I got very used to who the Star Hunters were, as everybody's in minimal squads, and we're master artisans, and we're warded, and I've played them that way, this entire edition, and maybe even some last edition. Did they do it in 8th? Maybe? It's been a while. Anyway, we have the new rules, and things are different. And not only is my existing army different, but my motivations on my pile of shame are different. And my future hopes and dreams for this army also kind of different. But first, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the casualties, first of all. Brother 3030 has no rules in the data slate release. He may get rules and when the Legends rules comes out, but currently no rules for him. I expected that. But over here, no rules for Lieutenant Starhawk. Lieutenant Starhawk currently has no role in the Force. He will probably get rules when Legends come out as well, but at the moment, both Lieutenant Starhawk and Brother 3030 are out of the Force. Next are these guys. I love all of these guys. And but they're currently in limbo. We have Brother John Brown, the champion. We have Chief Apothecary McIntyre. And we have Brother Rosencrantz and Brother Guildenstern. And they have been pushed to the command squad, which I believe is the box that they came in originally. Well, actually, I started these with 3 of these guys came in the Marnius Kelgar box. But currently, it's not legal to field them. There are no honor guard rules. And then I thought about running John Brown as a Primaris champion and McIntyre as a Primaris apothecary, but then you're only allowed to attach them to certain units. Those units are Primaris units. And so all 4 of these models, which are 4 of my very favorite models, I mean, McIntyre is a hero of the Empire, and these 2 guys are some of my best work. They're in limbo until I paint him. Now, I was never into painting him, but all of a sudden, if I don't paint him, I can't field 4 of my favorite models. But if I do paint him, they become a squad. However, nobody's quite as cool as they were before. I'm sorry. The new rules just aren't as cool for them. They're not. And I want them on the table because I love them, but I need to do work before I can field them again. And they won't, nothing's ever the same, is it? Now, for all the stuff I can still legally field, we'll start in the back with the Rhinos are much the same. The Vindicator tank is much the same. The Land Raider is much the same, except now with the assault ramp rules, men can get out of the Land Raider and charge on that same turn. And I happen to have 10 assault marines without jump packs that my buddy the Farseer often makes fun of for being assault marines without jump packs. But now all of a sudden, it seems as if I have the perfect place for them. The Landspeeder Tornado, mostly unchanged. The Plasma Cannon Devastators, mostly unchanged. My assault squads. Over here we have Jump Pack Assault Squad. On the other side we have no Jump Pack Assault Squad. I would like to say these guys are mostly unchanged, but I can't. They've gotten better. Chain Swords, 4 attacks each. Eviscerator, 3 attacks. They still have access to all of their close combat weapons, And the Vanguard veterans have been reduced to heirloom weapons, and that's some bullshit. I'm sorry. That's some bullshit. I was just looking at the Devastator squads too. They still have access to all the melee weapons as well. The Assault Marines can, bring Thunder Hammer, Power Weapon, Power Fist, but the Vanguard veterans can't. That makes me kind of crazy. I just noticed looking at rules that the jump Assault Marines have a different special rule than the not jump Assault Marines. The jump Assault Marines have Hammer of Wrath, where they jump on you and do some mortal wounds. But the not jump Marines, Assault Marines, can choose sustained hit 1, lethal hits, or lance. I'm not entirely sure what all that does, but it is different. Anyway, they're still on the force, and they're looking good. Now, scouts aren't so different, but they're up to 2 wounds. 2 wounds on a scout now. And then on top of having infiltrators and scouts, they have this guerrilla tactics rule where if you're not in engagement range, you can pull them off the board and put them in strategic reserve. So scouts got better too. Also, sniper scouts got way better. I'm going to have to get mine painted. Tactical squads. I have 2 of them. I have 2 10-man tac squads, and I have run them as combat squads every single game I have ever played with them. I have never run these as 10-man squads. But all of a sudden I have to. They have to be 10-man squads with 1 special weapon, 1 heavy weapon, the sergeant. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Why? Why don't I get to combat squad them? Why don't I get to decide how many models I want in the squad? They're the only unit in the whole download, the only unit that has that restriction. Is it because they only sell 10 models in the box? I hate that. I absolutely hate that. That's lazy. It's the business decision. It's not the game decision. But also, I see the writing on the wall. Like, I'm going through this all the data slates on my tablet, and there's so many of them. You eventually have to get rid of some stuff because it's all very bogged down. But really, my TAC Marines, they're much unchanged. They're clearly, I don't want to say inferior, but I think that the intercessors get more love. But I'm still going with it. This is my army, and I love them. And we're going to make it work as long as we can. So Chaplain Cooper here, not so much different. Buffing 1 squad, being a beat stick, not so much different. But Pistolary Giles over here, I don't know. Like, his psychic power is being reduced to like a weapon profile. I don't know. And yeah, he's given a good defensive buff to a squad, but that's kind of how I feel about him. Like, he's a defensive buff for a squad where he used to be my boss librarian. I don't know. We'll see. Lieutenant Favorite is much the same. And it seems to me that he's probably going to start having a full-time job hanging out with those Assault Marines, riding the Land Raider. Now, finally, for the painted models, the 2 captains. Do you see how some of the unit entries don't have pictures of the models in the unit entry? Do you suppose that's because we have new models coming and they didn't want to put the old model in the unit entry because we'll have a new model soon? Are we getting a new captain with a jump pack? Captain Orpington here, he's much the same. Giving his unit +1 strength on the charge is cool. He still gets his jump pack. He still gets his lightning claws. I was very fond of making his lightning claws master crafted, so he would be 2 damage and not 1, but he got off pretty much unscathed. I'm happy that he's still doing all right. Now, Captain Lord also much the same. However, every game I've played with him, I've given his pistol the Relic Pistol Purgatorius rule, so it was special. That's not an option anymore. However, he now has the option to bring an Inferno pistol, which is just awesome. And it's Melta 2 pistol, 6-inch range, 1 attack, hits on 2, strength 8, AP 4 for D3 damage. Darn right, Captain Lord still has a hot gun. So, we got off lucky. We did all right, with the exception of 1 jump lieutenant, the champion, the honor guard, the apothecary, which I can get them back into the force. I just have to do some painting. But Brother 3030 and Lieutenant Starhawk currently have no role. Now, You think these are all my Space Marines. These are not all of my Space Marines. These are my painted Space Marines. And here we have the Space Marine pile of shame. Now, we've already talked about this man here. He, a couple weeks ago, was the lowest priority on the list. All of a sudden, he is quite the priority. We'll put him up on the hobby desk. Now, here are my Vanguard vets. You'll notice that 5 of them are on cups. I was working on 5 of them quite recently. Now, a long time ago, we were willing to play Warhamer, and we played a lot of it. And I loved this unit. I haven't seen them on the table since we decided that we were only playing with painted models. And they're great, and I love them. And lots of character, but all of a sudden, these guys got lightning claws. He's got a relic blade. He's got an axe. There's 2 power fists. There's 3 thunder hammers. No, they're all heirloom weapons. They're all strength 5, AP 1, 1 damage, something stupid like that. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And these guys went from being at the very top of the list to push down to the bottom. Las Cannon Devastators. This is Brother Sweet Chuck. He's almost done. I have some scouts, but over here I have 9 sniper scouts, and a lot of them are almost done. Their new rules are I mean, granted, they're just, scouts with sniper rifles, but you can't target them outside of 12 inches. And that's amazing. Here I have another tac squad that was going to be 2 5-man combat squads, but now it's totally 1 10-man squad. Got the Storm Raven gunship, and got the Tech Marine. He's the last character to be painted. And then here I was going to use all these guys as veterans. These are just my fun models. So he's an old metal sculpt that I love. I would love to make him the sergeant or something because he's so cool. But he's a veteran now. And then he came with Dark Vengeance. And then everybody's got to have one of these guys, right? And then, just some guys that I built to be cool and awesome. And you know what I haven't looked for? I haven't looked for the Space Marine veteran profile. Uh-oh. It seems to me that the veterans profile is gone. And so if I wanted to finish these guys, I would have to run them as Vanguard veterans with heirloom weapons. And, some of those guys have power fists. They're not heirloom weapons. Oh, it makes me crazy. So this is the pile of shame, and I was really motivated to get these guys done. No, I'm not. I'm currently really motivated to get these guys done, which I wasn't. And then there's, future purchases. I would have called this army almost done. I still want to get a drop pod because every Space Marine army should have a drop pod. But I was super into the idea of having a Terminator wing. And I wanted 10 Hammer and Shield Terminators, 10 Stormbolter and Thunderfist Terminators, and either a Terminator Chaplain or a Terminator Librarian. But now they have the new Terminators, and they're all Primaris sized. And so, if I get the new Terminators, they're totally going to dwarf my mini Marine army. And so I think I just got to let that one go. I think I have to just accept the fact that the Star Hunters do not roll with Terminators. And I also really feel like I got to read the writing on the wall that my army's not going to live till 11th edition. It's not. Everything gets a little bit worse edition to edition. Everything gets a little bit less edition to edition. And sooner or later, it's going to be time to put these guys in a fine display cabinet. And it breaks my heart because I love them. Anyway, I think Thursday I get to find out about the Orcs and the Tau. And that's something I'm really nervous about. I haven't heard hide nor hair on what they're doing to crisis suits. And that's terrifying. Because crisis suits are horribly balanced currently. And God knows, they're going to be like, yeah, they can only take 1 weapon. And they move 6 inches. I don't know what they're going to do. Anyway, but Space Marines, 10th edition, they're still in it for a little while.